Claire stepped closer, her voice firm but calm. You tried that before. All it gave you is shame. And when you put on that skirt, that scarf, that lipstick, you didn't look ashamed. You looked alive. The silence thickened. Ethan's chest heaved with uneven breaths. Tessa smirked, rifling through the bag she'd brought. Besides, if you're going to crash and burn, might as well do it in style. She pulled out a simple but elegant blouse, holding it up against him. Picture it. Monday morning. Elise walking through the office doors. No more whispers. Just the truth. Ethan's heart pounded. His reflection in the darkened TV screen caught his eye. He saw his tired face, the tie still hanging limp around his neck, and beneath it, the ghost of Elise, waiting. The weekend loomed like a clock counting down. Every second was a choice: retreat back into Ethan Hart, the invisible man, or risk stepping into Elise, where the whole world would see her. And for the first time, Ethan realized he wasn't sure which terrified him more. Sunday afternoon should have been quiet. Rain tapped against the window, soft and steady, while Ethan sat curled on Claire's couch. The blouse Tessa had teased him with still hung on the chair across the room, a silent dare he refused to touch. Claire read lazily from a sketchbook, pencil scratching as she worked on a design. Tessa scrolled her phone, humming, clearly bored with the waiting game. Ethan's chest was tight, his mind a storm. Every time he blinked, he saw Elise's reflection. Every time he tried to breathe, he heard Rachel's whisper, Josh's smirk. Monday felt like a guillotine waiting to fall. Then knock, knock, knock. All three froze. Claire frowned, rising to her feet. I wasn't expecting anyone. Tessa smirked, already curious. Maybe the universe just couldn't wait for Monday. Ethan's stomach flipped. Don't open it. But Claire was already moving. She cracked the door open. And Ethan's world tilted. There, standing in the hallway with a damp umbrella and a plastic bag of groceries, was Lydia, Josh's girlfriend, who sometimes stopped by the office to bring him lunch, who smiled too brightly at everyone, who noticed everything. Hey, Claire. Lydia beamed. Josh told me you lived here, and I was passing by, so I thought I'd say hi. Her words cut off as her eyes darted past Claire into the apartment. They landed on Ethan. His pulse spiked. He wasn't in Elise's full image, but the remnants lingered, bare legs still faintly smooth from yesterday's tights, a smear of lipstick that hadn't fully washed off, Claire's scarf still wrapped loosely around his neck. Lydia blinked once. Twice. Then her smile sharpened with recognition. Well, she said softly. So this is Elise. Ethan's chest seized. Claire stiffened in the doorway. Tessa grinned like a wolf scenting blood. I can explain, Ethan stammered, voice cracking. But Lydia only tilted her head, studying him with keen eyes. No need. Josh already told me about last night. I was curious if it was true. She smirked faintly. Guess it is. Ethan's knees nearly buckled. His secret hadn't just spread, it had landed on his doorstep. And with Lydia standing there, umbrella dripping, smile sharp as glass, he knew one terrifying truth. By Monday, Elise wouldn't be a rumor anymore. The doorway felt like a trap, Lydia framed perfectly in it, rain dripping from her umbrella onto the mat. Ethan's chest tightened, breath shallow. Claire's jaw had set, silent calculation flickering in her eyes. Tessa, of course, looked delighted, lounging back on the couch as though she'd been waiting for this twist all along. So it's true, Lydia repeated, her voice carrying both curiosity and amusement. Josh said he thought he'd seen you, but I wasn't sure. Now, here you are. Ethan stood slowly, the scarf slipping from his shoulders, his hands trembling as he caught it before it hit the floor. Please, Lydia, don't. She raised a hand, cutting him off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Relax. I'm not here to out you. Not yet, anyway. The not yet made his stomach plummet. Claire's voice sharpened, protective. Lydia. This isn't your business. But Lydia only stepped further inside, brushing past her like she owned the space. Oh, but it is. Josh told me everything. How Ethan, or should I say Elise, looked in the cafe, how he didn't correct him, how everyone whispered about it. She turned to Ethan, gaze steady, dissecting. Do you have any idea how fast things like that spread in an office? In a town like this? Ethan's knees felt weak. Please. I can't. Lydia's smirk softened, but it wasn't kindness. Lucky for you, I'm not cruel. Secrets like this, well, they're currency. And right now, I'm the one holding it. Tessa laughed, sharp and delighted. Oh, this is rich. Elise doesn't just have fans, she's got investors. Claire shot her a warning look before stepping between Lydia and Ethan. If you think you can blackmail him. Lydia tilted her head. Blackmail? That's such an ugly word. Let's call it leverage. I'm not asking for money, Claire. I'm offering something. Protection. Guidance. A way to make Elise's little debut less messy. Her words hit like ice. Ethan stared at her, panic giving way to disbelief. You want to help me? Lydia's smile finally warmed, though it made him shiver more. Help, guide, control, it's all the same, isn't it? The point is, you don't get to run from this anymore. Elise isn't a rumor. She's real. And I can either make sure she thrives, or I can make sure everyone laughs. The room went silent. Claire's fists clenched. You don't get to decide that. But Ethan barely heard her. His reflection in the darkened window caught his eye again, tired, painted lips faintly stained, scarf hanging loose. Elise staring back. And for the first time, he realized Lydia was right about one thing. There was no running anymore. The silence stretched thick, broken only by the rain dripping from Lydia's umbrella into the hallway rug. Ethan stood frozen, scarf clutched in white-knuckled fists. Claire's eyes burned with defiance, while Tessa leaned back like she was watching her favorite show unfold. Lydia closed the door behind her with a soft click, sealing the room. Let's not waste time. You have a choice, Ethan, she smirked faintly, or Elise. Either you stumble into Monday with half the office whispering and snickering, or you let me help shape what they see. Claire bristled. He doesn't need you. Lydia arched an eyebrow. Really? Because from what I hear, he's already halfway exposed. And if Rachel was gossiping in the break room, the whole office will know by the end of next week. She turned back to Ethan, her tone silky. But imagine walking in not as a rumor, not as a joke, but as someone who owns it. Someone polished. Presentable. Unshakable. That's where I come in. Tessa laughed, raising her glass in mock salute. She's not wrong, Claire. Our girl here needs polish if she's going to survive out there. Ethan's throat tightened. Stop. All of you. This isn't some game. Lydia's gaze sharpened, pinning him. It stopped being a game the second you answered to Elise at that cafe. You think you can shove her back into the mirror? Too late. People have seen her. People are talking. You either drown in it, or you let me throw you a rope. Claire stepped closer, her voice low and protective. And what do you get out of this, Lydia? What's your price? Lydia's smile widened, but her eyes stayed cold. Influence. Access. Maybe even a little power. I don't need money. What I want is to be the one who decides whether Elise rises or falls. Ethan's stomach knotted. He could feel the net tightening, Claire tugging one way, Tessa taunting from another, and now Lydia weaving her own strings into the mess. He looked at his reflection in the dark window again, scarf loose, lipstick faint, fear etched across his face. Ethan's heart was unraveling, piece by piece. Elise stared back, silent but undeniable. And with Lydia stepping closer, whispering like a devil in his ear, Ethan realized with bone-deep dread. Elise wasn't just real anymore. Elise was about to be public. Ethan barely slept Sunday night. By the time dawn broke Monday morning, his reflection in the bathroom mirror looked pale, hollow-eyed, and more like a man on trial than someone preparing for work. Claire brewed coffee silently, her jaw tense. Tessa sprawled on the couch, far too amused for the storm that hung over the apartment. Lydia had left hours earlier, but her presence clung to the air like smoke. Ethan pulled on his usual work clothes, slacks, button-up shirt, tie knotted too tight. The fabric felt heavy, suffocating. He tugged at the collar, whispering to himself, just get through today. Pretend it never happened. Pretend Elise never existed. But as he walked toward the office building, his phone buzzed. Message from Lydia. Good morning, Elise. Smile today. His stomach dropped. How did she? Before he could respond, another buzz. A notification. A photo. His blood froze. It was him. Saturday night. Lipstick. Scarf. Skirt. Taken from outside Claire's building, the angle grainy but unmistakable. Lydia, don't panic. Just a reminder of what's at stake. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Ethan's knees nearly buckled. He wanted to throw the phone into the street, but his legs carried him inside, into the buzz of office chatter. Every voice felt sharper, every laugh heavier. When he reached his cubicle, whispers drifted just loud enough to sting. Is it true? Josh swears he saw. Rachel said it too. Ethan collapsed into his chair, his hands trembling on the keyboard. His heart pounded so violently he thought it would shake the desk. Then his phone buzzed again. Lydia, break room. Now. Fear clawed his chest. He stood on shaky legs and walked. When he stepped into the break room, Lydia was already there, dressed neatly, leaning against the counter with a coffee cup. She smiled like a cat with a mouse. Morning, Elise, she said smoothly, loud enough for Rachel and Mark to hear from the table in the corner.